What's up guys, it's Wasabi and I'm back with another review. Today we have the NuPhy AIR60 HE and this was sent to me by NuPhy to share with you guys. Thank you NuPhy. But as always with the content on this channel, these are my thoughts, personal opinions and experiences with the product. Now here's a quick look at the packaging because that's what you pay for too. First you got a quick start guide that doubles up as a poster, the AIR60 HE itself, a 1.5 meter USB-C cable, a keycap and switch puller, a couple of extra keycaps, and that's pretty much all that's included inside the box. Now before we go any further, let's manage some expectations here real quick. This is the first low profile Hall effect keyboard to be introduced to the market. And I would say it's pretty much a product to bring the functions and features of a Hall effect keyboard to low profile keyboard users. Now the version that I have has the new get-around low profile magnetic Jade Pros and it goes for a price of about $140. It's a straightforward case design. You have two LED strips on the left and right corners which you can personalize on the software. The case is in the darker shade of silver and I don't know, I feel like they kind of overdid it with the keycaps that it comes with. It's just a combination of colors that makes a simple keyboard like this feel very complicated. And to my surprise, this keyboard in particular looks much better on the internet than it does in person. You got the USB port located on the left of the case and on the bottom is a smoky black ABS plastic with adjustable feet for two additional typing angles. Overall, the build quality is good and though it's mostly plastic, it's got an aluminum frame. This keyboard feels like one solid piece and being so compact and slim, it's still got a nice weight to it. What's going on inside the AIR60 HE? You got a hard swappable design that is only compatible with low profile magnetic switches. It's got south-facing LEDs, a gasket mount, sound dampeners and switch pads, PCB and plate foam and a silicone in the bottom case. This is pretty much the same layout as the NuPhy AIR60 V2 low profile keyboard with a small tweak in the bottom right corner where the arrow keys were. They replaced the arrow keys with the same configuration of keys that you would find on the Wu-Ting 60 HE. So on the bottom row, you have Alt, Menu, Control, and Function with a big Shift key on top of them. I'm not sure why they did this, but I feel that it would have been a much easier choice for their audience to pick up if it still had the arrow keys. This does have Mod Tab, which lets you use the bottom right keys as arrow keys, but if you're new to a 60% layout like this, it may take some getting used to. You may have noticed a switch on the back of the case, and this is a switch between three profiles: gaming, Windows, and Mac by default, but you can customize these modes on the software. The quality of the keycaps feel pretty average. The solid color keycaps are very smooth to the touch, which isn't something that I enjoy very much for gaming, and the legends are not very sharp. There are no misprints, it just looks like a low resolution print. They are also quite thin, and if you use this keyboard in a dark room, you will notice light bleeds through the keycaps, and it looks rather odd in my opinion. The transparent keycaps on the right are way sharper than the rest of the set. It is an interesting combination of keycaps, but the difference in clarity of the legends and the dull colorway makes the keyboard look a bit of a mess. The switches that mine came with are the get-around low profile magnetic Jade Pro switches. You have the option between the low profile Jades and the Jade Pros. This has a dustproof stem design, dual rail structure, and are sealed on the bottom, which is one of the characteristics of a Jade switch. These Jade Pros have an initial force of 40 grams and an end force of 60 with a variance of 10, and the actuation range of this switch is 0.1 to 3.3 millimeters. These low profile Jade Pros feel decently smooth. They are very stable and the Pros would be the option to go for a more thocky sound profile, but I have to mention that it's not the same sound experience you get from the regular size. As far as low profile magnetic switches go, these are as close as you can get to a sound profile like that, so just don't expect too much from it. The overall typing experience is, well, it's not bad. It would sound pretty good for most people for a low profile gaming keyboard, but for some reason it doesn't feel so nice to type on for me. There is a lot going on inside, and for a keyboard like this with the Jade Pro switches, you would think that what you're gonna get is a very characteristic sound experience, but here it's a little lackluster with the way it sounds and feels. I don't know, maybe too much has been crammed into it that it also removes some of the good parts of the sound and the typing experience. Comfort wise, you have three typing angles with the two adjustable back feet. They also offer a wrist rest as an option. Their acrylic wrist rests look very nice, but for a low profile keyboard like this, I don't feel that it's necessary. Now here's a quick sound test to give you a better idea of how this keyboard sounds. Lots of lighting effects to choose from. NuPhy is always very creative with their lighting effects and added in some interesting ones to react with how magnetic switches work. You also got two LED bars on the sides which you can assign different lighting effects separately from the main keys. Connectivity wise, you have wired 8000Hz pulling rate, so it's up to date with current gaming keyboard trends. The cable though, it's this grey rubber material and it's specially angled to fit nicely with the USB port position of this keyboard. I think it's fine, but if you have a preference for using your own coiled cable set or a straight cable that you use for all your keyboards, it's gonna look pretty weird here. The web-based software NuPhyIO is fantastic. This is NuPhy's new software that they launched with the release of the Field 75 HE. Interface looks great and everything works well with my experience. They've been actively updating NuPhyIO, which I appreciate, because with a few brands, they would just put up a very simple web-based software when they launch a keyboard and don't do much to continue improving it. Of course, you can program your keys, set your actuation points and rapid trigger sensitivity, customize the lighting effects, and you can do all of this on free profiles. Hall effect features, you have rapid trigger, adjustable actuation, mod tap, dynamic keystroke, toggle key, and SOCD as well. They've added in a new feature called hyper tap, which automatically triggers a selected key as soon as the key you press is reset. Not a feature that I am comfortable supporting, because part of the joy of gaming is physically interacting with your keyboard on controller and seeing how those exact inputs show up on screen. I am just surprised that they put in a feature like this after how the gaming communities felt about snap tap and SOCD. Having hyper tap in this keyboard, you can use it if you want to, but I think that for a gaming keyboard, some things shouldn't be made. I play FPS and quite honestly, I don't feel good about having a feature like this in my keyboard. And even if I don't use the feature, it just doesn't look good on me as a gamer to other people who know what this keyboard can do. The AIR60 HE is the first low-profile gaming keyboard to have Hall effect features, but it doesn't feel like a game changer in any way to me. It's really meant to just bring the features of magnetic switches to people who mainly use low-profile keyboards, and I think that's great. The typing feel and sound is not bad, but just not at all exciting to me. So for gaming and daily typing, it's been decent, but unfortunately not something I would use over other low-profile keyboards, even though this has rapid trigger. I appreciate the idea of making a low-profile Hall effect keyboard, but as a gamer, it doesn't quite deliver on the typing experience or the design for me. And even though the AIR60 HE isn't one that I enjoyed very much, I do look forward to seeing how much more low-profile gaming keyboards in the Hall effect category can improve in future. Now in conclusion, what are 3 things I like about this keyboard? First is the mode switch on the back is nice to have. It's not a need because you can switch profiles with a function key configuration, but I enjoy being able to switch modes with a physical control. The second thing is the concept, and it's a first for Hall effect low-profile keyboards. It's been something that people have been curious to see enter the market, and though I don't feel that this one is all that impressive, the idea has started and hopefully more brands will start to explore this option. And the last thing is the software. I think NuPhyIO is my second most favorite software to use on a Hall effect keyboard. It works and looks different and is user-friendly, which I appreciate. Now, what are 3 things I feel could be improved with this keyboard? Low-profile keyboards are mostly simple designs, but for the AIR60 HE with this keycap set, it feels very heavy and difficult to match with other gaming peripherals. I feel there should be more options for pre-installed keycaps. Right now, this is the only option, and to me, the colors and the prints don't look all that good. The second thing is that I feel this should have been wireless, and part of the enjoyment of a low-profile keyboard is its portability, and I think if this was wireless, it would have been so much more value for what it is. I understand that Hall effect keyboards suck up a lot of power and would require a much larger battery, but when it's possible in future, considering how fast tech is improving, that would be a nice feature to have on this keyboard. And the last thing is the USB port position. I'm sure they have their reasons why it's on the left instead of the back, but being a keyboard that is targeting gamers, it would be nice to have the port on the back so it looks neat with custom cables. Not all gamers use custom cables, but for those who do, this may be something that will hold them off from giving this keyboard a try. Now, final thoughts, and what do I think of its value? This is the first low-profile Hall effect keyboard to hit the market, and it has the first low-profile magnetic switches ever made, so that alone is what makes this keyboard stand out. Some people have a preference for using low-profile keyboards. They enjoy the slim design and the typing height, but Hall effect features were only available on regular-sized keyboards. So this pretty much brings those features to this audience. If you enjoy using regular profile keyboards, keyboards, I don't think that this has enough to change your preference. But for those of you who enjoy using low-profile keyboards in particular and have yet to try rapid trigger, at this point in time, the NuPhy AIR60 HE is the only one that can do that. After experiencing the AIR60 HE, I can't say that I had an enjoyable time having this on my setup. It's not bad, but it feels rather boring to me despite having such an interesting concept. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.